Hey everybody, welcome back to another rapid fire roundup. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a few games here, and these are games that I got a chance to play, but other people have reviewed them and I wasn't necessarily in the review, but I wanted to give my thoughts here, not only on the Dice Tower channel, but all these are going to be cut up on the Encore channel as well, so you can check them out there as well, or see the other kind of like rapid fire videos that other people here at the Dice Tower have done. So make sure to check out Dice Tower Encore for that. Anyway, let's get right into it. So my first one here is Wandering Towers. This is a game I played at the Dice Tower Retreat. It's really a game about just all these different towers, and you have different wizards that you're trying to move around the tower. You have to do two things. You have to fill up all of your little potions and get all of your wizards back into like the Raven's Keep, which is kind of like a moving target of a tower that's moving around. You're trying to drop all of the wizards in there. It's an extremely cute game. I gave this a 7.5. I had a lot of fun playing it with my fiance. I played it with a lot of cool people at the retreat. I played it multiple times there as well, just because it was a simple, easy game to get into, and it was a lot of fun. I also took a look at the expansions for it as well. This is basically they have these expansions that came out from Capstone that are like expansion 1, expansion 2, expansion 3. I think my favorite out of those was expansion 1 because it allows you to get cards out of the discard pile and also allows you to change up whether you're moving your wizard or moving a tower on a card, which gives you a lot more flexibility, which can make for quicker games. I didn't necessarily like the number 2 one as much because it adds the one where you can cap off Raven's Keep, stopping wizards from getting in there, which makes the game a little bit longer. So I don't know, I like fast playing games. But Wandering Towers is a blast overall, and it's one that I feel I'm going to be able to get out with my friends and family, so definitely enjoyed that one. The next one here is Seas of Havoc. This is a pirate game, which I gave an 8. I love this game. This is a game of like kind of deck building. You're kind of like setting your ships out to try to do different actions, whether you're getting cannons or getting better cards or getting stuff. And then you're basically each turn playing a card to move your ship around, trying to blast the other pirate ships out of the water. You can go around trying to get these treasure tokens, which are going to help you do more during that like whole like ship placement, worker placement style thing of getting more cards and getting gold and things like that. But you're blowing up your opponent, putting wounds into their deck basically, or damage into their deck, which is making them less efficient. We're trying to make yourself more efficient and end up getting a bunch of points each time. It's kind of cool because you get some points for hitting them on the side, you get more points for hitting them like on the front or the end. And just this game of trying to line up your ship and have enough cannons to be able to blast your opponent. I did notice that like it is kind of rough if you get in the middle of a bunch of other people and they're all shooting at you just because you're the target that's there in the way. You can get out of this game pretty quick if everybody just bombards you with blowing up. It's kind of better to skirt along the edges and kind of hide yourself from your opponents, but it is a cool piratey theme as you're blowing stuff up. It just feels rewarding to like figure out how to line up those shots and hope your opponent can't move out of the way and you're like, I prepared all my cannons for you. It's a lot of fun. That is Seas of Havoc. My next one here is Sea Salt and Paper. This is kind of like a set collection game where you're drawing cards and trying to maximize the points based on the cards that you have. Normally, I'm not too much into that style, but this game was actually really fun. I gave it a 7.5. I like the fact that you have to kind of like announce sort of like bidding for like the end of the game. Or like, okay, I think I'm winning this. I'm going to end the game. You can either like let another round go by, or if you really think you have it, you can end the round right there. But then there's like more consequences and things like that. The game is interesting. I love, love, love the artwork in this game. All of the origami on all of the cards is just very charming and very cute. And it's just a solid game. It plays quite well. So I really enjoyed Sea Salt and Paper. That is a 7.5 for me. My next one here is Disney Dixit. I love Dixit. I've loved Dixit for a long time. It's been a part of my top 100. I've always had a blast playing it with tons of different friends and family, and just it's one of those really good party games. But Disney Dixit takes Dixit and then just puts it in a really nice package. I mean, you have really nice like meeple tokens for all the different characters. Then you have these cool little dials that you throw out. I was used to having like the little bunnies and then the little tile tokens. And if you didn't take your right tile token back, you would be like, well, obviously that's not the one they're picking. But the dials are even better than that. And then, which I guess has maybe been in other Dixits. But then all of the artwork is just very nice and very charming, Disney themed, which means you have to be careful when giving your clues because you don't want to specifically name out a specific Disney thing and then have it get messed up. I definitely gave this one an 8, and a lot of that's because I just love Dixit, and because it's a Disney theme, I'm not necessarily as big on the Disney thing. I enjoy Disney. Disney's fine, but it doesn't like normally make me go over the moon. But the thing that does is that I have friends and family that love Disney, so it makes a board game easier to get to the table. So I enjoy it. Wild Child West. This is a polyomino game where you're placing out the different polyominoes on things, trying to build up your like western town. I really enjoyed a lot about this game. I'm not normally that much into polyominoes. This is a 7.5 for me overall, but I did enjoy the way that you're building stuff up and trying to fill out towns, maximize that stuff. There's bandits that end up coming into your, or you have some on your board, you're trying to cover stuff up and you're trying to get the bullets and the sheriffs to try to like maximize that. And then also the way that the river works with being able to have gold and buy stuff down and try to get the correct tiles. You have hidden, like you have characters that are gonna have kind of like hidden objectives that you're trying to go after as well to help you get points in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of variety in this game, and I feel like you play it a bunch of different times and you're gonna get different setups, and depending on where the dice roll, you're gonna be drafting different polyominoes. It's definitely a very interesting game, and it definitely looks pretty cool on the table, and after you're done, you feel like you've built something as you went along. But yeah, 7.5 for Wild Child West. And then my last one here, this is a 8.5 for me. This is a super cute partyo game called Partyo. Stereo Mind. That's why I messed up the word. This is a game where basically each turn you are going to put out a card, and then you're going to play a thing. The card's gonna have a bunch of different adjectives. Maybe it's just a bunch of different words that are gonna make you think of different things. And you all are going to, they're gonna have different numbers on them. And each turn you're all going to select one. And then the person who's the first player is going to choose a person's who doesn't count. This is a cooperative game as well. You're all working together. You're trying to guess the exact same number adjective based on the music you're listening to. And I mean, a lot of times it could be all sorts of just wacky stuff. Like one time we did it with just a bunch of different dinosaurs, like T-Rex, Velociraptor, Brontosaurus, Stegosaurus, Triceratops. And then you just played this music and you're like, which one is everybody gonna pick based on this? And one time we got one that was kind of like a stalking kind of music. And I'm like, oh, this feels very Velociraptor to me. So I dialed in Velociraptor, we put them all down. We kicked Joey out, because you always kick Joey out. That's for you, Joey. But yeah, it was a very good strategy. Then you all flip over. If everybody's correct, you win the card. If anybody's wrong, you lose the card. The first player, the person who got chosen to be kicked out, is now the first player, or the person that's choosing who gets set aside. And you kind of like have to play off each other. Be like, before you reveal it, be like, who acts like they're really not feeling this, or who acts confused? Let me have them pass this turn a little bit. And a lot of times, sometimes people make you pass, and you're like, oh, thank goodness. They made me pass. That's great. I do not feel like I know the vibe of this song to these adjectives, you know, or it's not even adjectives necessarily, these things. It's just a super cute game, really enjoyable. I think this is a game that reminds me kind of like of Just One style stuff, but even quicker. You're not having to think of crazy words, and I really want to play this one a lot more. So Stereo Mind was a blast, 8.5 for me. Anyway, that has been my rapid fire roundup. I hope you guys are all having an amazing week, and make sure to check out all the other stuff that's coming out here on the Dice Tower. And once again, check out the Encore channel if you want to see all these videos from everybody chopped up. Anyway, I've been Roy Canny. I'll see you on the next one.